everybody, to the PDR Sports Webcast. I am Kevin Morales alongside Travis Huslett. And Travis, let's start today's show talking a little bit of prep basketball. First team we'll look at, we're about midway through the conference season, and Portage boys, one game behind Wanakee for the Badger North lead. They're 8-3 overall, 4-2 in conference.
Yeah, they got to be happy where they're at. I mean, they do have 2 conference losses, but Wanakee's only a game behind Wanakee, and they get another crack at Wanakee.
Right.
January 29th, they're going to go to Wanakee, and obviously they got to win that game if they want to win conference. They're probably going to have to run the table, but I think it's doable because, I mean, if Wanakee's, I think, is probably the best team in the conference, but if you beat them, I think they're good enough to beat everyone else.
Yeah, doable, definitely. I know a couple coaches have said to me after games this year that Kevin Hurd they consider one of the best players in the state. I think Kevin averaging right around 20 points per game this year. So moving on, we've got the Westfield girls who are 10-1, 4-0 in the South Central Conference, and they've got a 1-game lead over Nakusa.
Yeah, the Westfield girls, I know going into the year with Katie Raymond kind of leading the way, we're figured to have a pretty good shot at winning conference, and in order to do it, they're going to have to get over the Wisconsin Dells hump on Friday. Dells are kind of defending champs, and Westfield's kind of always had trouble with them. So Friday, they're going to go down to the Dells in a big game, and then Nakusa, who's right behind them, they already beat Nakusa once. They get to play them again at home on February 5th. So those are kind of the 2 big conference games left for Westfield. Hopefully they can get it done.
Sounds good. Rio boys are 8-5 overall, but they're a perfect 5-0 in the Trailways South. That's kind of surprising. 5 losses, but obviously they prepared them well for the conference season.
Yeah, I kind of had to do a double take when I saw the conference standings and saw 5-0, just because I knew they had some losses. But in conference, they just get it done, and they've won a lot of close games. So it's going to be an interesting race to follow in the second half of the season.
Sure. And maybe one team that's not so surprising is the Randolph boys, who are ranked number 1 in the AP Division 4 poll. They're 10-0, 4-0 overall in the Trailways Central.
Yeah. The thing with Randolph is they every year they're there. I don't think necessarily they look into winning conference titles. They're more like concerned about winning state titles.
Right. Yeah, and they have a very good chance of doing that this year. Let's move on to football now. And this weekend full of great football games. One that's obviously probably the most important to Wisconsin fans was the Vikings Cowboys game yesterday. And kind of the question everybody's discussing today, did they run up the score?
Yeah, I understand why some of the Cowboys were mad, because they threw that late touchdown and it was kind of meaningless. The game was over. But at the same time, you got their job. Like everyone says, your job is to stop them.
Right.
They're all professionals. I think they should just be quiet and go home and realize they got their tail whooped.
Right. I think Brett's just trying to make a statement. I think he probably did run up the score, and I think, like you said, stop it if it's such a bad thing. But he talked right after the game about being successful, despite all the things that have been happening. So obviously that's on his mind. Just proving that he's still an elite quarterback is something that's very important to him.
Right.
And that was obvious to me in that performance. And speaking of the NFL games, Travis, you know I'm not one to brag, but I did go 4-0 on my picks, including the Jets picks. So what were some games that maybe stood out to you this weekend?
Well, I guess coming into the playoffs, if I had to pick the 2 hottest teams who I thought would get to the Super Bowl, it was Dallas and San Diego. And as you know, Sunday they both got beat, so they're gone. So I was surprised by both those results, especially the Jets beating San Diego. That was quite a shocking upset by the Jets.
I would say so. Even though I picked them, I think in my heart I didn't really believe that was going to happen. But they're my new favorite team now because, like I was telling you before, all my friends say that I look like Mark Sanchez. So I'm going to have to go ahead and, actually not pick them against the Colts this week. Peyton Manning and Reggie Wayne, all those guys, too much experience. They're going to lose this week.
Yeah, I tell you what, I'm going to pick the Colts, but boy, I can sure see the Jets getting it done. I mean, the one thing that the Colts struggle with is running the ball. So they're basically a one-dimensional offense, and when you go against a defense like the Jets, being one-dimensional is not a good thing.
And then Vikings at Saints, I hope Favre does it, so I'm going to pick the Vikings. And I think it's really going to come down to, I see their offenses as being equal. It'll come down to who's defense, and I think New Orleans has the more suspect defense.
Yeah, I thought that too until they held the Cardinals to 14 points, the same Cardinals team that just lit it up against the Packers. I think the key to this game is going to be who can get the better pass rush on the quarterback, because both quarterbacks, Favre and Breeze, the way to beat them is to get in their face and make them throw the ball before they want to. But I think what it'll come down to is the home field of the Saints. It's so much easier to protect your quarterback when you got the home field and the crowd's kind of quiet for you and just going nuts when you're on defense. So I think it'll come down to that. That's why I'm going to go with the Saints.
All right, very good. Moving on to the PDR Sports Athlete of the Week. We've got the Poinette Boys Curling the Schuster Rink. Midway through the Southern Conference season, which is the local high school curling season, Poinette is 4-0 and in first place. And this is a year after, I think they only had one conference win and finished third, which is last in the Southern Conference. So a huge turnaround for them. So an impressive start, really, for, let's see, it's Trent Schuster, Chris West, Alex Friedel, and Eli Lurkwin. So congratulations to those guys. And last but not least, we've got trivia.
Last week's trivia question was, what city has hosted the Super Bowl the most, and how many Super Bowls has it hosted? And Stephen Green of Cambria, who's now a two-time winner, he wrote in with the right answer. It's actually two cities, Miami and New Orleans. Both hosted it 9 times. Both cities hosted it in 2 different stadiums. In Miami, the Orange Bowl, and then the stadium that they play in now, which had about 6 different names in the past few years. And then in New Orleans, it was originally the Tulane Stadium, and now they're playing in the Superdome.
All right.
So this week's question, the University of Michigan and the University of Alabama, both schools have had 2 of its players go on to win Super Bowl MVPs. I want to know who those 2 players are. So 2 players for each school, 4 total players to win Super Bowl MVPs. So go ahead and write in with your answer, and we'll see who writes in with the correct answer first.
We look forward to it. Well, that's all we've got for you today. For Travis, I'm Kevin. Thanks for watching.